Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the MRC show that never ends. And we are live for Tier 0 action. I hope we've got vocals. I hope we have both of us here that we can hear us. So fingers crossed. If we can't hear, then please do speak up. But here we are, the fifth race of the week. And here we have the Tier 0, which is no assist, takes over from MRC Extreme, as it was labelled last season. And of course, a new slot on a Thursday evening. Welcome, everybody. It is lovely to have you with us. 19 drivers and sunny weather here in Canada. But before we get into qualifying itself, let me welcome the man alongside me this evening. It is Mr. Tier 2 himself, a man who doesn't mind this track, to be fair. But let's see how he fares in the commentary box this evening. Mr. Mond, good evening. Welcome alongside me. It's been a little while since we've done this together, hasn't it? We have, yes, you on PC. Hopefully, people in the stream, I don't know if you can hear it yourself in the background and try, but that we have full audio. I hope so. But welcome, everybody. And we have cars out on track, but yeah, this is a different format, isn't it? A different way, a different day. We're not used to Thursday nights of a bit of racing. Scottish Ninja says it's just me at the moment, so I don't know, maybe you're there, maybe you need to turn your mic up a little bit, Andrew. Again. Okay, no problem. He's just turning it up, Grant, so when you can hear Andrew, do let me know. It may just be the whole Discord thing that we're trying and some settings, but it should work. We've just tested it and it did work. Hopefully. I think you're just further away from the microphone at the moment. Oh, hello. So. Oh, that's very strange. Yeah, because it worked a few minutes ago. I don't know, you might have to try some settings to include on some other broadcasts. I'm not sure how, because we did just get it working, which is unusual. I'm not sure how it's not now changed. Don't know, I'm sure Grant will tell us. If you're able to give us a little piece, and then I'm sure Grant or any of our other viewers will be able to give us some feedback. Ah, that's unusual. Evening, Mr. Hills, from live from Andorra. Hope you are well. Lovely to have you joining us. I'm sure you're missing out on this this lovely track. I know you one of the tracks you go very well at usually. And of course, you were a firm competitor in what was Extreme last season. Andrews is playing with some settings, he'll be with us very soon. Calvin on a 10.6 opening lap. Bailey's going to cross the line on the mediums. He does it 11.0. Had an Aston Martin ahead of him. I think that was G-Star right at the end there. No, it wasn't. Do apologise, G-Star. It was Loppy. So, do apologise. But G-Star on a lap. C8 back in Prix, had a great race in Tier 2 on Monday evening. The one-stop strategy worked incredibly for him. Somehow managed to do it. Not sure how, but he did. Managed to keep the tyres alive, while everyone else did a two-stop. Airways, good evening. And like I say, Andrew will be hopefully joining me very shortly once he's figured out some of the settings, and I don't know how it's working. We're not very good at this whole PC thing. So if anyone who's listening is a PC whiz and knows how to broadcast and include audio through any other chats and voice chats, that would be fantastic, because I'm on console and streaming live through YouTube and through the console, and then Andrew, of course, on a PC, and we're talking through a Discord voice chat. So if anybody can Google it for us maybe and give us some pointers and help us out, that would be absolutely fantastic. So please do. Formula W at 10.7. He looked very, very quick the other day as well. So he is definitely one to keep an eye on. Bobo as well. Good to see him racing. That's Rassam, a 10.8, good opening lap for Rassam. Very, very good lap indeed. Let's have a look who's next. Seb Mails invalidated his lap. Nels, another quick driver. Andrew, Martin said he heard you briefly at the start and then you were gone. I wonder if that was when we were testing and then it was on your side and then it's gone to mine. I'm not sure. Not 100%, but again, this is just us all learning new technology, or, well, technology's been around a while, but new to us, definitely, in the commentary team for MRC. But have you tried to do something there? I can hear you a little bit better, to be fair. Hopefully you're coming through on the stream. But Bobo now in the 1:09s, just as overtaking Calvin to go provisional pole. But Kesa Soze in the Ferrari. Oh, a little bit wide through the hairpin. Hard to delay getting on the power. That's going to hurt him all the way up. No, nothing yet. Well, to be fair, Martin, Andrew hasn't said anything for a few minutes, so he's trying to play with it. There'll definitely be a Google tutorial somewhere. Something's better than nothing. When you started the stream, he heard Andrew say again. Maybe. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Keep talking, and I'm sure Martin and someone will, and Grant will give us a... That wasn't the question I sort of meant. As Andrew does a battle, we has battles of his own with technology, which is not unknown to many of us. Who is on a flying lap? It's Sam Flan on a lap. He is harvesting on medium and he is not, but he is 2/10 up though through the middle sector. So let's have a quick look at this one. How well is he going to do? Is he going to improve on his 1:11.3? Quite close looking at those times. A second separates second down to 11th, and we know how quickly this track does ramp up. Yep, Martin will say, he'll tell us as soon as he hears you. Well, it is what it is. We are trying. We are trying, and like I say, if anyone there is out there who can Google how to get a Discord voice chat settings into the stream, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure how we do it. It may be through the PlayStation, actually. Well, through your PC and the actual Discord itself there, Andrew. I'm just wondering if that's what it does. Yeah. Yeah, give that one a go and see how that one manages. Because I think that might be something to do with it. I think that could give us a helping hand if it's through that rather than any of the other softwares. But yeah, we shall see. Yeah, Louis saying that he can still only hear me, and I know you'll find a way. But here we go, G-Star on his next run, already halfway through the session. 3/10 up to the first sector. Important when you nail that turn 2 hairpin. You can gain so much time through that, and of course turn 3 and 4. But now G-Star coming to the second sector. Looks very nice and neat through the hairpin to the chicane. Another purple sector for the Dutchman. He has a car ahead who's going to give him a nice little tow. Not sure who that is. Moves out the way. That might have been red car, I think. Or it could have been Rassam, actually. It's either of the two Mercedes braking into the fan. Got a little bit quick under brakes. But now the run to the line using the last tiny bit of his battery, and it's a 10.5 for him. Moves up into second. Bobo still Almost 5.5 tenths he's got at the moment. As let's have a look further down. Let's have a look at Ryan and see how he gets on his next flying lap. Now the Saviour, Friddy and Ant all still to set a lap time. I'm sure that will come thick and fast. We'll have a few crossing the line very, very soon. Ryan pushing on. Quite a good amount of his battery left. Takes a lot of curb at the entry. Through turn 7 and 8. And now through 9 down to 10. How is he late on the brakes? Ryan, of course, familiar with the nose assist, runs a little bit wide through the hairpin. Takes out wider line, not always the quickest way, but it seems to work for him. He got the car rotated very nicely indeed. And now DRS wide open. How is he going to fare? Not much battery left as he runs towards the line through the final chicane. And misses the wall of champions. And that final push towards the line, what's it going to be? It is an improvement. Down to 11.2 up to 11th place. Nels has set a lap time. He is now 13th. Saviour set a second sort of warm-up lap, a 1:15. Let's go on board with the German. Slides through turn 4. Around turn 5, brakes for 6 and 7. It's a little bit wide through there. Uses that curb, which is cannon set of the car. Runs the car wide. DRS wide open. One of the 3 detection points, well, 3 DRS zones I should say, only 2 detection points of course. Use a lot of the inside curb there as well, hops over it nicely. That car looks very nice. And Seb Mail, yes, oh yes, I missed that. Good spot, Mr. Hill. Seb Mail returning to MRC. Lovely to have him back. Actually, one of our, what was it, season 1 and 2 Seb Mail was with us. Very early days that he was part of the MRC family. And now has rejoined. And Bobo goes even quicker on a 109.8. But what can Saviour do? He's got a lot of battery to power towards the line. And his first one is going to be the 10.10.3 for him. So pops him right behind his teammate Formula W on a 10.2. This man is very quick. Wow. What about Anton? Validated, unfortunately. His teammate the kick Sauber for Friddy. But there is Seb Mail. Running very slowly indeed. I think he's letting a few cars past. But I think there's a little bit of traffic. Just keeping out of the way. Just getting used to things. Getting himself back racing once again. Oh, there was a V-carb though. I think they might have been on a fast lap. Who was that? Was that Formula? It wasn't. It was Saviour. Got caught out a little bit by that. I know he's taking it easy, but you do need to run a little bit quicker. Oh, what happened to Bobo there? Bobo, big moment. Oh, are you there? Okay, let's see if Martin will let us know that he can hear you. Fingers crossed. Let's have a look who's on the fast lap. Sam Flan, not a quick one. Nope, nothing, not yet. I wonder if definitely it must be a Discord setting, I think. Ah, don't be sorry, mate. It's nothing we can do. It's just a new thing. It works when we're streaming through you, but then the picture was coming through only the top corner for some reason. But everything else was fine. It was just that picture. Now we're streaming through me, and we have no sound from you, but from me, which is weird because it normally says, "Do you want to include the party audio in the broadcast?" And I would say yes, but that didn't come up this time round. But we're in this chat, and everyone can hear me, so it's very, very strange. Not really sure. I'm presuming a lot of people who are watching are all 18 of you, which is fantastic to have you. So please do hit the like button, everybody. Don't forget to do that. Ring the bell if you haven't already. Want to see double figures for the thumbs up button through our stream this evening and through the race. We don't know the weather yet, of course. We had a little bit of wet a few times earlier this week. Only 3 people have hit the like button. Come on, folks. You can do it. You can definitely do better than that. Takes seconds to do. So it's a little bit quicker in the first sector. Looking to improve on his 16th position currently. Freddie now just doing the one lap. So Freddie now out of the pits. A lot of pressure on him to do that lap. And in order to make it count, any kind of invalidation, which is easy to do around here. We've seen a lot of penalties so far this week for time, for track limits and time penalties from that. But here we go. Soze, just getting rid of the wall, but got some battery to use, and now using it to get up to speed as quickly as possible. And now DRS open, not a car ahead of him, not a car in sight. As he brakes and looks of course very tentative into the final chicane. That's going to cost him some time, and it does. He's not improved on that one at all, unfortunately for him. So maybe time to go again. Chris has popped it up into second on a 10-0. That shows how quick Bobo was. And now we've got both the V carbs nose to tail on an outlap. That's an interesting one of how those two are going to work together. I wonder if they do that during the race. Now then, let's have a look. Who's on? Who's going to start a lap? Sorry, I know I'm flicking there, gentlemen. Oh, that was a Red Bull kissing the wall of champions from Jules. So, let's see. What can he do? 1 minute 51 left, and he's invalidated at the first corner. He does have time to go on again. Depends if he's got the fuel to do so. G-Star Hill. Let's have a look. Saviour then, ahead of his teammate. And what can the multi-time champion do on this final run? He's got to find about half a second. Sam has left the section. He's just in the pits. So 14th the best for him. Oh, there's a Red Bull in the way! Oh, Saviour's been caught. There's a Red Bull loitering on the racing line. That's heartbreak. I don't know who it was. Van's on outlap, Jules on a lap. Not sure exactly, and that's ruined Saviour's run. And now G-Star is also coming up to them. Can he come through? Slightly up in the first sector. He's going to come up to this train ahead. Saviour, that's heartbreak. That's so cruel for him. Big block from the Red Bull. Did not move off the racing line whatsoever. There was the Kick Sauber who did move off the line. Unfortunately for Saviour, he is being caught out. His teammate a little bit further back, I think. He's going to be trying his run now. And now G-Star might get a distant tow. There's all the cars up ahead, all the traffic. But interestingly, I think there's going to be enough time for some to do another lap. G-Star though, this is going to be his final attempt. And the two V-Carbs do get a lap in, but G-Star does improve into third, just behind, half a tenth behind Chris Bailey. And who have we got? The checkered flag falls. Saviour is able to do a lap. What about his teammate? His teammate there has invalidated. So Formula, the best he's going to do is for fifth. Saviour down on the first sector. He's got a lot to do to put himself back up where he belongs, right at the top of the grid. Has he got a Sociopath in fifth, the tier 2 champion and new commentator as well, into fifth? What a lap that is. That's fantastic. Oh, hello. Oh, interesting. Saviour, let's have a look what he can do towards the line. As he's got a car ahead, might get a tow from Red Bull ahead. Oh, there's a ass that spun. Hopefully that didn't put Saviour off. Hopefully he didn't have to back out. It's a slight improvement. Just takes him ahead of his teammate by 0.02 of a second and squeezes in between them. 600s behind. 1,000, sorry, behind. Formula W is retired. That is everybody. That is everybody from qualifying. Bobo. What a lap. Said that early on. Bobo takes pole position with Calvin, who snuck up there. Just in the 109s as well. What a fantastic final lap. Sneaks into second with Chris Bailey in third. G-Star in fourth, and the other has a Sociopath in fifth. Saviour is in sixth place and in seventh. Formula W in eighth. Armour in ninth, and Jules rounds out the top 10. Sam Flan in 11th, Vans in 12th, Seb Mail on his return in 13th, Rassam 14th, Friddy 15th, Ryan is in 16th, and we'll go through the following three very shortly. Steve's struggling to put a lap together. It did look a bit difficult out there, my friend. It did a lot. We do have a bit of a break though. We do have that 5-minute interval where we're going to try and do some technical technical. That's the one, witchcraft. That's it. I don't know. On the PS. Okay, folks. I'm going to pause this stream for a couple of minutes, so please do enjoy the lovely graphics, and we will be back very, very shortly. Podcast. So here we are, folks. Sorry about the pause. We've just tried to do it to a different party. Andrew's still trying, but this is a little bit wet, isn't it? Look at this! Wow, that looks like full wet conditions to me. Wow, that's incredible. Well, that's not what the drivers want. This is exactly what we love to see, though. We're, well, nice and dry and very toasty, and I'm sure most of you are as well, who are watching this evening, who are probably glad they're not racing in these conditions, because we've just experienced, if you're anything like some of the drivers this evening. Oh, hello. Hopefully you can hear Andrew now through the remote play. Better? We'll find out very shortly. I'm sure Martin will say if he heard you. Just waiting for a message to come through.
Some confirmation.
Yeah, absolutely. But Steve says it's raining. Well, yeah.
We can do with that over here at the moment.
It is a little bit toasty, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, no. I like. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather the sun than rain, but just I would rather it if I wasn't working. Yeah, it is uncomfortable. It is when I work in what is effectively a tin shed with a lot of glass. It's very warm indeed. But yeah, that's uncomfortable. But if you can hear...
I can agree.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can hear...
No, I don't think I'm coming through.
I wonder if that's definitely a PC thing, but it worked before when you did the party.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is very strange.
I've got the remote play working now.
Yeah, but you got that working. Oh, hang on. I think Mr. Hills... He hears you!
Yes!
Everyone thinks I'm talking to myself, I'm sure. I mean, I do that anyway, but I get more answers.
I've just heard myself.
Yeah. Just in time.
Oh, it's only taken us half an hour. I'm sorry I missed most of qualifying, folks.
Oh, well, at least you're here for the race. Thank goodness for that.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
And it looks, how exciting does this... well, that was a bit stressful. So at least we know we can do your remote play and get that. We just need now to sort your screen out of what it's going to show. But that's fine. If that's the only thing...
Folks.
Yeah, and you've got the remote play so you can still join the normal commentary parties, which is perfect. We know they work. Great.
We're on the way, folks. MRC is evolving.
We're up 100%, always, as always. Hydro's looking for... he's supporting W44 for Formula W44, and Martin is jealous that he can't race because he loves Canada and the race. Lego Lancer as well supporting W44. Don't forget, you two, hit the like button. It takes you seconds to do while we're in this interval, as the drivers now are having a comfort break, trying to probably cool down, I'd imagine, from qualifying and getting themselves ready. This is a... Totally.
I'm just seeing half the drivers literally just be You remember, if anyone remembers Top Gear in that one episode where they're testing the high performance cars on the continent?
Yes, I know we're going with this.
James May.
James May in the race-prepared Aston Martin Vantage with zero air conditioning, zero fans, and 35-degree weather. Yes.
That's it. That's the pick. We all love and see.
Yeah. True. So, here we are, folks. And Andrew's with us, which is great. He needs a little bit 10% more volume if you can, apparently. Or if you move, I think you're on controller, so you might need to move that microphone a bit closer to you somehow.
No, it's directly straight back into my keyboard again.
Right. Okay. So from that, then you just need to turn it up a tiny touch. That'll be fine. Yeah.
I hope that's a bit better.
Hope so. Hydro looking for forming at W44. Decent qualifying. That was a difficult one for a number of drivers. Steve there. Okay, so as I said, he just couldn't get a lap together. Saviour was blocked and had his hand up in the stewards. So I think there's a few things the stewards may see this evening afterwards. But standout Bobo early on. Calvin right at the end there. Popped it into second. Chris in third. And we've got a few drivers a little bit out of position, I think, as well. So that's all well and good. That's now gone, isn't it? We are looking at full wet conditions. Drivers out of position. I mean, I did wonder. No, I don't. And you know what? Now you think about it, it makes sense. I expected a few more drivers in the 109s, and we only had the top two. They were all in the 10s, and this could be why.
Played a wet setup card.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's made a big difference. There are a few more things you can change in Park Fermi when it gets to wet, which is the tyre pressures. For example, I think you can change them. Front wing you can change anyway. What else was it you can change? There's something else you can change. The on-throttle diff you can change anyway, and your brake bias. So I expect a lot of these drivers, I think, just changing that and kind of, panicking. I would be panicking at this point.
I still have maintained every time when we did the commentaries last season. No assists. I think all these guys are insane.
Yeah, a little bit, especially when it gets to these conditions. I mean, you can use ABS and it's still the tyres immediately lock up. So to use no traction in this condition, it takes a different bit of skill. To be fair.
Oh, it does.
What I was interested and I love to see, this is a bit of a level playing field, especially with the weather, but also we've got a few drivers in the lower tiers. Rassam isn't a slow driver. He's ahead of Friddy at this moment in time. Nels is ahead of Loppy. Van's up there in 12th. Samflan in 11th. That is fantastic to see. The top 9, 10 drivers, top drivers, very quick drivers indeed. And it is full wets as well. It's not even the intermediates that Tier 1 started with on Monday evening, which I despised. I hated that. But look, I think it's going to be a full wets all race here by looking at it.
You reckon it'll dry up halfway through?
I don't think so. We've not heard from any of the drivers in the break there that it is going to dry up. So, but the wet conditions, I got told off from a driver, slightly told off. I forgot to call him out on Wednesday in my other job, and your other job, that driving offline in the wet does make a difference and cools the tyres down. It didn't really have much of an effect, I found, on F124, but it does this time round. So as the cars start going round and creating a mini dry line, especially in these conditions, it's going to be interesting to see if anybody does drive offline a little bit down the straights to try to cool the tyres down, because you said it as well when we've been talking over the last couple of days, and I noticed that the heat in the tyres, especially the rears round here, is quite difficult to keep under control.
I was having quite a few struggles with the Tier 2 race, because I think as soon as it got to the late on the stint, I was just touching the brakes and it was the rear of the car just went like it was a wet race again.
Yeah, there were a few slides and a few twitchy moments from quite a few of us, I'll be perfectly honest. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, me included.
Yeah. Calvin didn't manage to stop the time, neither did Ant, who I'm surprised he's not on the dry tyres with it in its full wet condition, so I'm surprised he's not starting on the mediums. But now,
this is his little domain, isn't it, the wet?
It is a little bit, but we're going to ride on board for the lights with our third place man. We have 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and the wet. And kind of goes racing. Vance got a little bit too early. He's got a drive-through penalty already. Horrible start for him. But now Chris gets away. A lot of wheel spin. Calvin just behind. Oh, there's a slide. I think that was G-Star.
I think it's G-Star, yep.
It was. Savy got through it. Great start from him. And Ant. Formula W up there as well, following his teammate. They're both up a few places. Sociopath, terrible start for him. Rassam, what a start from Rassam. Oh, what? Oh, that's interesting. Jules and Saviour, corner cutting, gained a place. Didn't even have a chance to give it back by the looks of it. Wow, that's crazy. So top 3 after all of that have gotten away. Chris all over the back of Calvin. That's going to be an interesting scrap. Good friends and party up together. But Saviour, I don't know what happened. I really don't. It was the camera angle was poor. But yeah, 10-second penalty for that was drive through for Vans. Major penalties already, Andrew. We're not even halfway through the first lap.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially with, as you said, 2 very big hitters getting very big penalties quite quickly. Yeah,
they'll have to serve those in the pits when they do their stop. Oh, that was Saviour going very wide and touching the wall of champions. Through the final chicane, couldn't get the car turned. They seem to be really struggling for tyre temps at the moment.
Yeah, well, you'd expect as well with the wets, they should be a little bit more of a... With a heavier tread block, they should heat up faster than normally they compared to the dry tyres.
Yeah, they do, don't they? You're right, because they operate at a lower temperature, don't they? So, which obviously designed to do through this. So, yeah, you're right there. Oh, Ant's going very slightly through turn 4, but getting a very good drive indeed. Martin said it does look super slippery, and I mean, I think sorry, Andrew, but that is an understatement. Absolutely.
This is. I know, to quote a line from Martin Brundle, I know this city is more accustomed to its winter sports, i.e. ice hockey and everything like that, but it's more along the lines of water sports pretty much today, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they could be driving on the lake. Saviour's car looks like a dry setup. That's not a bad car. It doesn't look like it has a very good front end. Oh, Calvin.
Yeah, Chris is right in the back of Calvin, yeah.
Yeah, Calvin got a bit slidey early on, and Vans has served his penalty. Let's go back to none at the start there. So Rambo's had a glitch. He's left the session somewhere. Hopefully he can get back in. But yeah, let's go back to Saviour. He struggled earlier. Oh, sliding as well. I mean, he's managed to pull a bit of a gap and hasn't dropped too much more to the top 3 at this moment in time, as Chris has got through on Calvin.
Yeah, Chris is looking like that horse is pretty planted pretty much nice and set in these conditions.
Yeah, Martin saying, who doesn't love some water sports? I think I know what he's getting at there.
I'm not good with water sports, Martin. I can't swim.
Fair play.
This is one of my failings in life.
Saviour's just cut half a second in the first sector. So maybe he just took a bit of time to get his eye in, and that 10-second penalty still is going to really, really hurt him. And he's pulled away from Ant, who's got Formula W, and Rassam, who had a monster start for Cup. Oh, and he goes very, very
wide.
Yeah, Rassam a little bit quick through 7 and 8. Martin's not king shaming. Are you sure about that? Says the man who likes to go and play up mountains. I'd rather not go down to the woods today, and I'm not sure I want that surprise. Calvin's had a moment somewhere. He's dropped 2 seconds off Chris Bailey, and he's now got Saviour for company. Chris, I think, is loving it. He said another fast lap. Saviour just pips it by a 10.
Formula's all over the back of Ant. Sorry to jump over you. I think he's
oh, good. Wow!
try the move into turn 1.
That was so. He was drifting as we cut to him, and he's got the outside through 2. Has he got the move done in the traction? He's still drifting up the hill, and he gets the move done on Ant. What a move that is!
That
incredible. I'm sure his fans are going to be in the chat very soon, celebrating that one and loving the action. There he is, Lego Lancer. What a move! Absolutely, that was incredible. Sideways through 1, so close through 2, and got the traction, got the grip, and got the move done up to 5th. Ant's not been pretty good in the wet.
But as well, Calvin. Again, sorry to jump over you. Calvin's under quite a bit of pressure from Saviour now. Saviour looks like he's pushing the Williams around at the minute.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Sam Flan first of the time penalties. So now, I'm just thinking, Jules has done his 10 seconds. He's pitted and he is now at the back. He is taking his 10 second. I don't know if Ryan's joined the session again. Hope so. Hydro-like formulas move as well. But at the minute we're focusing.
No, I don't think Ryan's still out of position at the moment.
Oh, there's a big glitch. Wow, Saviour drifting through the final corner. He is pushing on.
Look at the leader.
Let's have a look. Chris is on the outside of turn 1. He's now got the turn 2 on the inside. Can he get the power down early? Let's have a look. We're right side by side. Bobo's on the outside. Chris is using whatever he possibly can, and Chris gets the move done. Wow, just 4-wheel drifting into 3. It is, but Bobo's not giving this one up yet. He's trying it around the outside of 5. He's going to have the inside. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Can he get it stopped? He does. This is the tricky part now. The turn 7. Sorry, turn 6.
Wheel to wheel there.
Wow. Gets moved back again.
Chris is coming back at it though.
He is. Oh, he thought better of it this time. Round, yeah. Just thought better of it. Trying once more. What wheel to wheel action that is.
Absolutely crazy.
Millwood as well. Formula W was bringing everybody in. Wow, this is fantastic to see all of you. Please do hit the like button, the thumbs up. The thumbs up. It takes you seconds to do, gentlemen and ladies, if you are ladies and gentlemen.
It helps us tremendously.
Absolutely, certainly does. We've got 8 of you who have hit the thumbs up. Let's easily get to double figures, guys. Easy to do if you haven't already subscribed. Do ring the bell and subscribe to the channel. 5 races a week. And who wouldn't want 5 races?
We're spoiling you.
We are. We always do in MRC. And who would not want 5 races of this? Is Chris going to try it again into turn 1? I don't think he's close enough. He is not. But Calvin has now got both the V-carbs right under his rear wing. Ant is there as well. Vassam less than a second behind. This is going to be tasty. What a tasty race. And to be fair, we haven't looked back. Sam Flan in 11th has Friddy, Nils, Soze for company. Loppy, Seb Mail, Ryan has joined again. Fantastic. Good stuff. Seb Mail and Loppy doing battle further down the order. G-Star's got Sociopath for company. That'll be a good fight as well.
This group here, as you said, from 3rd place, there's going to be a lot more coming now, because I know it's up to Sam Fair at the moment, but G-Star is bringing Sociopath and Armor Red along with him as well to the party. So let's see if this new car train can come on about 7 car train. I mean, even Sam Flam and Freddy, Nils and Keith Souza, they're not far back either.
No, and we've just seen how quickly Saviour closed the gap, didn't he, to Calvin. Calvin just struggling now, had great grip at the time. Louis said that there is a bit of a dry line appearing, and we're looking at this now. There is a little bit. I don't think it's Guy Winter, but this is Saviour's chance. He pulls to the inside. Is he going to be able to spot the braking for the final chicane? He gets the car stopped. Block pass. Calvin's tried it though. Calvin's not giving this one in. There he is, the Williams on the rear wheel. Is he going to be brave on the brakes? He's not. Can Saviour get the car stopped? He does. Saviour now up to 3rd. Don't forget 10-second penalty as well. So all to come. But Formula W is now having a look. There's been contact. And both went a bit sideways. Calvin just keeps on.
Yeah, a bit of wheel banging there between the...
Calvin kisses the wall.
I think He's got away with the front wing damage.
He has. Oh, look at Formula W. He was sideways under brakes, forcing his way to the inside. There's more contact. Not enough room given. More wheel banging. There was a little bit of room should have been given to Calvin. I think that was unfortunate and can't really do much about it. Calvin had a right to be there. Calvin's still trying to go there, but now Formula's through. And goes a bit deep as well. I don't know if that'll be a warning or not. Got a track limit on the white line. But that was side-by-side wheel banging. Jules, oh, Ryan's pitted. I'm not sure if he's having technical issue. Oh, he's out the pits now. So, wow. Okay, let's just take stock. Chris is right up the trumpet, and he's having a look as well now down the Giovilna straight into the final chicane. Turn 12, turn 13. The side-by-side and drifting. You can't go too wide there, surely, boys. But they can, and they are.
Oh, Chris, watch that wall on the outside. After last year's MRCX start, you're susceptible to it.
Oh my goodness me! How did Bobo keep ahead there?
Not a lot of carbon fibre all over the side of that track. I do not know.
I know. I agree. Wow.
That was close to being an airplane crash.
That could have been. Whoa, look at Formula! How did he keep that one? He's drifting all over the place. Oh my goodness, this is incredible.
How have we still got all 19 cars still going?
I also don't know that one. Now, a few drivers, I'm going to go to these pit stops. A few drivers have made stops. They've gone to intermediates. Now, Louis said this, there is a dry line appearing. Red car, Loppy and Jules all gone for intermediate tyres. We'll have to keep an eye on Jules. He's got 7.7 to the back of Vans. We're going to see if, and he's done a few laps on those inters as well. It's going to be interesting to see if that works. But oh, look, Chris has got the run out of the hairpin. Sorry. I tell you what, Saviour's closing in. These two battling like they are. Saviour is closing in. It is only 2.5 seconds now. 2.3. It took even more time. Oh, apart from that twitch in the background there. Calvin now.
Seconds.
Yeah. Calvin struggling on this set of tyres. I think the two stops the way to go around here, I'll be perfectly honest. 7.7 was the gap. 6.3 Jules to Vans. It could be crossover time.
Possibly, but especially with the three at the back on the intermediate tyres, I think as soon as we see it's like a purple lap from Jules, from Lopi, or from Red Car, that'll be the signal to these guys to say get in there and switch tyres now. Yep,
100%. I think it will be 5.8 now. This is closing down. I wonder if Lego Lancer is in a party with W44. Because he's saying losing grip, we are losing grips. That's a mayday call if ever I've heard it. But
if it was a Ferrari pit crew, they say stay out for a bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you're Ant's pit crew, you'll put the hard tyres on.
Wait, Ant's got a Ferrari pit crew?
No, Ant just does crazy things. And makes it work.
He is crazy.
He is. And very good.
But we love him to death.
We do. And he's saying he's cooking at the minute. There he is. 2.1 off his teammate. Drifting both of them around the final corner. Just taking it nice and steady. Trying to cool his tyres. Moving over to the wet part of the track. Just cool down. Trying to eke as much life out of them. Saviour is closing that gap 2 seconds now. G-Star is the next to pit.
He's the highest. He's the highest placed runner at the minute. If he's going for the pits, he's going to go onto them. Yep, he's going to the inters.
Oh, well, so this is going to be interesting now to see what he can do. Jules was closing down on Vans. Loppy, what was that?
This is a big opportunity now. This is the leaders are going to want to keep an eye on what G-Star does now.
Yep, they'll want to see those lap times. And if G-Star, once he gets them up to temperature, comes out just ahead of Seb Mail and Vans, so in plenty of clean air, he's got 8 seconds to Soze ahead. He was still in that battle with Nels and Friddy. Further on, San Fran Sociopath battling away. Armour has dropped off the back of Rassan. He's kind of in no man's land at this moment in time. But the V-Carps, yeah, it is good pace. And, oh, that was Bobo getting a little bit slidey on the apex. Let's go down and leave these. Calvin has still got Ant for company and Rassam, but that dry line that's forming, that, if you can keep on that dry line on the inters, it's probably not a bad call, you know.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and keep an eye on G-Star to see what he does. Because his first lap out, let's see if he... Alright, 25.7 is the fastest lap from Chris at the moment. Let's see if G-Star can do it on his first run.
Yeah, Chris putting the hammer down. 1.1, he's built that gap, now he's got through on Bobo. But it's interesting if they're going to try and make this one-stop work and potentially go to the intermediate tyres. So we're going to keep an eye on the left-hand side, folks, and Andrew's keeping an eye, I know, on... Look at the understeer for Ant's car, but we're going to keep a looking at on the gap with G-Star in 14th, Kesa Soze in 13th. That is the gap we're keeping an eye on. Jules is closed again and sets as fast as that. Beats Chris's by a 10th.
Not by much, though.
It's not. Yeah. I think once G-Star gets the grip and gets the temps, that's going to be the main one.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough indication for the leaders at the moment to come in. If they can hold the pace, they might as well stay out at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Xavier got the gap down to about 2 seconds, and it's now hovering at 2.5. Formula W 2.7 back. Calvin still got Ant and Rassam for close quarter company. So a few gaps starting to form as tyres starting to wear. Obviously,
I'm wondering as well if Bobo is trying to stay out of Chris's dirty air a little bit just to save the tyres.
Yeah,
a little bit more, trying to weaken him out a bit more.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing. You can see, I think it is drying up because the lap times are starting to tumble. Even though the tyres are wearing, they're still offering enough grip with the rain that doesn't actually look as hard as it was to start with. I think Bobo's made an error somewhere. He's dropped quite a bit of time. Armour's now pitted. Nels has pitted as well. They're all going to the inters.
Going to the inters. But you got to remember as well with the wets, they're designed to shift this water. That's what they are with the tread block. They're designed to shift the water to get it back up into the air.
That's a good point. Yeah, very, very good point. And all over the back of Calvin now. This is the closest battle on track. We've got very, very close drifting round using the last bit of these wet tyres. I think we're going to start to see a flurry of pit stops very, very soon. Because I think G-Star's going to go calling, and I think Armour's going to get the temperature in his tyres and work out where the grip is in about a lap's time. But we're still not seeing a few people go offline. Sorry?
They're about 30 seconds off the leaders at the moment, G-Star and Armour. 32 and 34 respectively, so they'll be close, but not massively. I think... Bobo's in, got a few leaders.
Bobo and Xavier have both pitted. Rassam has pitted as well. So then, this is going to be interesting.
The Alpine.
Yeah, let's go to the leader gap.
Xavier's serving his penalty.
Oh yes, of course. So if this is now at the changeover, if it is now intermediate time, Xavier has come up behind Rassam. He's got to clear him. Actually, Xavier's come up behind G-Star as well. That's going to be very close on exit. I think Xavier's just got it. He does. But there you go. There's about a 10th in the fastest laps that everyone's trading. Chris has did a 25.559 and then just beaten there by Jules. I think...
Not enough at the moment.
No, I think you're right. It's too nip and tuck. But the wet tyres are 12 laps old. I mean, Jules' tyres are 9 laps old, in fairness. So he went on those very early indeed, and now he's starting to close in. He's got free air ahead. Nels is a bit further back. It's about 18 seconds. So, as it stands, I think Chris is going to come out behind Bobo, but ahead of Sociopath. Chris pits! As if on cue. We'll keep an eye on when he call out. Yes, they are. Yep, and pitted as well. So, let's keep an eye on Bobo. Is he going to have what it takes? I think he has. I think he's done it. Chris is... Where is Chris? He's moving. He's at the end of the pit lane. There's Bobo on the left-hand side. Who's going to take it? Through turn 1 and 2. I can't even go on board with Chris yet. Have we got it? It's side by side. Chris just has got a nose ahead. Where is he? There he is.
Yeah, the pit exit helped him there. It's a straighter run into turn 2.
It is. Yeah, I think that was it exactly. You're right. As Armour now sets it, that was 2 and a bit tenths quicker than the previous fastest lap. But Chris is going to have colder tyres. He's not going to know where the grip is. Look at the drift he's got. Bobo's got 1 lap extra advantage. He knows. And look at this. For it. No DRS. Is he going to try around the outside? Had to back out and bail on it.
I think he's going to try the hairpin though.
Wouldn't surprise me. Let's go on board with him. Chris has gone defensive to the inside. Just about an Alpine's width. Oh, that was a wheel tap. That's just because of the understeer for Chris. He could see the full lock he was on. There's no hardship there. Chris manages to defend it.
Yeah, held him off nicely. But Bobo, as you said, he's got the temperature in the tyres. He knows where the grip is on these things.
He does, and is he going to try it again? Or just poking his nose out, giving Chris something to think about. But now Chris is going to get his head down. This is going to be great. Formula W, though, he has pitted. Don't forget, he's now behind Sociopath, who has not pitted. So he is now de facto 3rd place. Calvin 3 seconds behind, but he's got and still company with Rasta and Saviour. It's going to be interesting to see what Saviour can do. We saw, oh well, I tell you, that's what he can do.
The 24s now.
Wow, that was half a second, 3-4 tenths quicker. Wow, look at Formula W.
Formula's getting very skittish.
Yep, the man with all the supporters club in the youth. He's trying to go on the outside of Sociopath. Jeez.
That's the tyre difference, I think.
That is
anything else.
Yeah, I can't deny that at all, because he was on the wet stuff, went round the outside and just about left space for Sociopath, but Federico, very, very smart driver, very good driver, and just didn't really fight that one. Knew it wasn't his battle. He knew that Formula was on fresh intermediate tyres, and he has not pitted. So let's get rid of the tyres, because we know all about that, folks. And now 6.2, so he's dropped a couple of seconds, I think.
Still
if my maths.
He's still very skittish out the power out of the hairpin, is Formula, but as you're saying with Sociopath, he's last year's Tier 2 champion. He knows how to make a fight. He knows how to when to not stick his nose in, make sure he can get in there and make sure, as I say, he knows when to. He knows discretion is a better part of valour.
He does, and sets that. Yeah, beats Chris's time by a couple of tenths as well.
Now.
So Saviour, 24.0 for Saviour.
That's 1.5 seconds faster now than what it was on the wet tyres.
Yeah, only a couple of laps ago as well, wasn't it? So Ant was looking quite close to Calvin, backed out of it before the final chicane, and so Saviour now on the back of Rassa, and this is going to be important for Saviour. Serve that 10-second penalty to push on through and see what he can do, as Calvin has given way and now maybe got a bit skittish. So Ant now up into 5th, and he's got to get through Sociopath, who I'm sure won't put up too much of a fight. Sociopath going for the one stop.
Should be pitting soon.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's sort of. What if he's trying to go to that one stop, thinking the Inters aren't going to last what is still effectively 20 laps to the end? How are we already on lap 16 and the amount of action that we have had?
I don't know, but I think maybe Sociopath is maybe waiting for a visit from Kurt Trylander, I think.
Ooh, I mean, potentially he still hasn't pitted. I tell you what, Formula's cut the gap down 5.5 seconds as he sets a new fastest lap.
23.5, wow.
Yeah, he is pushing on.
And passes Sociopath.
Jeez,
I don't think he's going to be the only one soon, because Calvin is crawling all over the back of the house at the moment.
Yeah, I think that'll be quite quickly done and dusted for Calvin. But not just yet, he's drifting all over the place as well, fighting that Williams. But I think, there's a few wheel taps against the wall there. And Calvin not quite able to do it. Socio and Rassam, look at this as well. These are nose to tail. I think... Oh, Chris,
Chris
3
has got 3
seconds.
seconds.
Wow.
I wonder if it's the pressure from Bobo.
Yeah, it must be, because Bobo's not going away at all. I mean, these guys had some incredible battles last season, didn't they, at the end of 24, and, well, it started again.
They did. Yep, it's like deja vu.
Yes, it's new game, new season, same story.
Yeah, the only difference is it's not Chris's best friend Saviour behind him this time, it's Bobo.
It is Calvin very wide at the hairpin, outbroke himself. Rassam tried to have a look, couldn't get the power down.
Sanfeo's looking too.
Yeah, he was. But now is that going to give Saviour a bit of a look? They seem to be using a bit of the power between them. Chris then goes to the 23s. Laid on the brakes for Saviour. That's do or die. Oh, that was contact. Big contact. Saviour stayed to the runoff. Yeah. 22s from Ant. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see that in Stewards. I hope Saviour didn't get any penalties for that. I don't know. We're on board with Saviour. Yeah, that's it. So Lego Lancer is telling us here, because we had Millward asking how many times the drivers have to pit. If they're saying it's high, they may have to pit again, because there is a long way to go. But he's looking at Formula W, of course, at the moment. So then, who's also called Morgan, I think. So if Formula W can preserve his tyres, then they don't need to pit. Yeah, a few of them pit at the same time, didn't they? So that gap's just stretched back to 6 seconds, because it was closing. So Chris now getting the hammer down and struggling, but we are not leaving this battle for 5th at the minute, because this has allowed Ant to disappear up the road, hasn't it? That's not what people like Rassam and Saviour especially need. But Saviour's going to have a look at Rassam into the hairpin. Rassam gives room. There's enough room from Saviour on exit. Who gets the best traction? Are we going to see an Alex Albon type of overtake, or Red Car Rambo overtake? Actually, from if you haven't seen that, that was incredible from Ryan, who did that. But Saviour this time is on the inside. Rassam has to give way this time around. So now Saviour, one down. He has now got the Haas ahead of him, and a bit of clean air to close down Calvin.
Should make quick work of the Haas, especially with the worn wet tyres. I mean, Saviour, Sociopath nearly drifting his way around.
He was through turn 1, wasn't he there?
Struggling so much with the power.
Yes, Saviour I think he almost got caught out, Saviour, by there, but made the move. Now then, what can he do? Close down Calvin, I'm sure, very quickly indeed. And closing in on Formula. Formula, I think, has overheated his tyres. He's pushed a bit too hard early on. That gap now 6.6 seconds to the top 2. And closing down. And this is going to be another battle once again. Yeah, they are. Formula's just pushed a little bit, maybe a bit too much where Rassam now through on Sociopath as well. G-Star still got armour red for company 9th and 10th. Go on.
I was just saying, I was just on board with Formula quickly a minute. He's locked that that front right into the hairpin again. I've seen it a couple of laps from him.
Yeah, I think that's just a standard when you do hit the brakes. It is one of the main tyres that do lock. We saw a few people lock both front tyres in some of the other tiers earlier this week. Sanflan, Nels and Sosa still in a good little scrap, 11th, 12th, 13th place. That's going to be getting get dicey and a bit funny later on. So looking forward. It certainly will, yeah. Especially when Sociopath has to pit again. He'll be around, trying to do some maths here and it's not very good. I think around Joules. I think it'll be between 30 Joules, around there. But a lot fresher tyres. And if people have to pit again.
And again, we've not had a certain someone come out to play yet, have we? It's just amazing 20 laps in this wet.
It is, isn't it? I think they've done absolutely incredibly well so far. Ryan not had the best. Well. Sorry?
With no assist as well.
Yeah, this is a different skill level, isn't it? To get the car stopped. I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna lie, I just can't brake. I tried it once. As soon as I pressed the brake, everything locked up, and then it was just no, couldn't get the car turned. It's a lot of skill. One I would like to use, but I just don't. Saviour 3
Saviour's up the inside of Calvin.
Yeah, but let's look at the penalties now. Jules on 9, everyone else on 3 who has a penalty is now Chris. That's another fastest lap. He's now pulled that gap to 1.7 over Bobo. and that 3 seconds is going to play a crucial part for me. Now 7 seconds behind Bobo, with Ant still sticking about 2.5, so Ant's not made inroads, has he, at the minute?
No, he's not made as much in ground as he'd hoped to, but as you say, Calvin, I don't envy you in the slightest right now, having a very quick and very fired up saviour behind him.
Sam Flan, he had a 10 second, I think he just sped in the pit lane and has retired. He's having a good race up there. That's a bit disappointing, it's really upsetting, not sure why. I'm sure the stewards might ask for some footage as to why he's retired in the pit lane for no damage or nothing going on whatsoever. In a very strong position, that's really upsetting, that's a shame.
It is a shame. Hopefully, as I say, it's nothing unjust and we can go back to the next races. Calvin started to really drift that Williams now as well. I think Sam Fayo's had a bit of an issue as well because he's dropped back off of Saviour.
Yeah, he's about a second off. It's not far away, but Sociopath has now got G-Star and Armour for company. They have closed him down. I think those wet tyres really struggling. Now we're in the 22s. Bobo now just a little bit quicker, closed the gap by a couple of tenths on the last lap. Sociopath really struggling, and I think Armour is going to look for an opportunity to close as much as he can. Sociopath just goes, yep, okay guys, I see what you're doing, no problem. Nels 6 seconds, Calvin 6 seconds of penalties. Now then, the grip. Let's go back to these tyres. 8-9 laps for most. I think we're going to see another pit stop, you know.
I think we will, but Sociopath, I don't know whether he's going to have any tread left on those wet tyres at this rate.
Yeah, I think he's going to try that one stop. He's going to go. I wonder. It does look like look at this, Calvin, Rassam, and Saviour as well. Calvin's giving in. Oh, there's still a bit of a squeeze from Calvin. There's a bit of contact. There was a squeeze, but Saviour doesn't give it in. Calvin's hard but fair. This is cost. Look at the gap, 12 seconds nearly. Oops, you've had left the party for some reason. Not sure why, with the little connection issue. I'm sure he'll be back very shortly. So now you just got me. But Saviour, look at this on the inside. Four-wheel drifting to get the car stopped. Has to go so tight, almost stops it. And now Kelvin just about keeps it. Rassam can't do anything about it so far. But this is, look at the gap, 13 seconds. This has hurt Saviour so badly. So Saviour going to the inside on the wet stuff. Just gets the move done into turn 13. Now then, are we going to see it repeat? Formula now 9.3 off. Bobo is now 2.2 off our leader. That's getting dangerously close. Sociopath finally pits on lap 23. Surely that's going to be a set of mediums? I mean, I've seen stranger things, but it's going to be intermediate tyres, I am sure, for him. And then, of course, what is Ant going to do? He closed the gap a little bit. Now we made a mistake there. And now we're back to 2 seconds. So, this is interesting. Who pits when? Who pits where? That track looks a lot drier than it did, even offline, than it did a few laps ago. Andrew's going to come back to this very soon. I'm very sure about that. Again, we're just learning new equipment, folks, so do bear with us if we do have a few of these glitches. But welcome all 20 of you who are watching live. Again, please hit the thumbs up button. It does help MRC massively, and if you can contribute to the live chat, it'd be lovely to have you with us, as we have now got the next 12 laps of this Tier 0 race round the Canadian Grand Prix from MRC Season 17, the opening round, and we have seen incredible action already at the start of this race. The first 16 laps flew by in less than, well, it was ridiculous. Really was. Welcome back, Andrew. Not sure what happened there. And he'll be with us in a second, I'm sure. So, this Saviour Calvin Rassam battle still continuing on its way, but still dropping a lot of time to Ant, who's closing in. There we are. Good. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, my PS4 went to rest mode, so I need to comp myself out on the remote play, so my apologies about that.
Oh, so it does with the remote. Oh, fair enough. Oh, well, you've learned something else new tonight. Discovery. Yeah, you really have. Discovery. Absolutely, this evening, you really have. So we're just looking back at now, and come on, look, there's 22 of you. Welcome all of you, but please hit the like button. There's only 8 of you done it so far. That's terrible. Come on.
We get to 10. Here's an incentive for you. I give you a very good fact about this Canadian Grand Prix. How's about that?
Yeah, that'll do. I'll take that. I love your facts. I love all that. Lego Lancer, you liked it. Good lad. I hope you've also hit the subscribe as well. So come on, people. As Lego Lancer says, do hit the like button. We're still on 8. No one is doing it. You can, if you're watching on a mobile phone, you can drop the chat briefly, hit the like button, then press on live chat, and it brings the chat straight back up so you can join us and pop in your say. With us here in the commentary booth as we are watching the final 10 laps of this one, and there's a few battles up and down the field.
Stopping?
Exactly that, I think it is. Now, Sotibath had to go to Winters, but let's go on board with Wassam. It is very light. I mentioned that the track is definitely drying, even offline. Which I like it. I like that it's gradual. It's either all wet or nothing. Oh, Calvin, big moment, hit the wall. That's big damage. He's not out, but big damage. Lost half a front wing. Fence. Yeah. Oh my. Oh no, yeah, just the end fence. Oh, just the end plate. Oh, Calvin, heartbreak. You're gonna have to pit again. But has this? I mean, he's going to struggle around the rest of the lap, of course. But fresh tyres in these changeable conditions
might be an idea.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, we managed to clear it very quickly. So Rassam now freed up. Saviour's freed up a little bit as well.
Yeah, so what they need.
It is, isn't it? Bobo still about 2.5 seconds off Chris at this moment in time. Chris only got 1 lap fresher tyres. So here's the thing, so Chris has got that 3 seconds. Where is he? There he is.
Traffic as well.
Yeah, yes, he's got, I think that's Red Car Rambo ahead of him.
Yeah, it's Ryan.
So Ryan's not going to do anything. That Ryan will move anything there. Yeah, yeah. Legoland's is hoping for a safety car. I think I know why. Because your man Formula is 10.5 seconds off Bobo, which makes him about 13.5 seconds now. There he goes. Ryan moves out the way. 13.5 seconds roughly to the leader, and that would have been eradicated. And as you said, Andrew, he has had a very good race. Some of the battles he's had and some of the moves he's made, the overtakes have been absolutely incredible. So these, as you said, it is drying. That you know, you can see on track that the track is drying quite a lot. Jules, another penalty. It's obviously not going to be dry tyre time for a while. There's a hit at 20.8 and a 20.7 now.
Yeah.
So these lap times, very much. I think once we get to about, I don't think we'll get to the 15, 16s. That's probably when you're going to start coming out to the dry tyre time. But who's right?
Nels and Lord Peter just having a battle side by side. But yeah, it depends whether it's going to get down to the dries. And it doesn't look it's raining from some camera shots.
Exactly, yeah. It is definitely lighter, as you pointed out. Bobo's taking quite a bit of a chunk. He's taking a second out of Chris in the last lap. Ant is closing on the back of Formula as well. They've got the same tyres. Oh, Ryan's got a penalty as well. Jules now pit. Jules is pitted for mediums.
That's risky. I think he's got a bit too early on that.
Yeah, but Loppy's also pit as well. What tyres is he going to put on? Are we at a crossover stage? Are we going to see the rain stopping in the next lap or two?
Loppy's on the mediums too.
Yeah. Okay, this is going to be very interesting indeed. We're going to have to keep an eye on them, but Ant at the moment, especially when the DRS gets enabled. Hydro, you need to hit the like button. Hydro, hit the like button, my friend. That's what you need to do. If you haven't already, everybody else, please hit the like button. We're still on 8. Come on, folks. You can do better than that.
Ryan's called it quits.
Yeah, he was a lap down. Yeah, struggling this evening. Been a difficult one for him this evening. Had a disconnect as well. I think it would have been better if he didn't have that disconnect that put him quite a way off the back of the park. I think once that set in, that was the killer for him. So we're going to keep an eye on Jules. He's got 5 seconds to the back of Nels, who was actually only recently pitted for a new set of intermediates. So that's going to be the one to watch. Bobo, though, is also one to watch. Don't forget, I got 2.7. Now only a second.
Chris quite quickly.
Yeah. That's interesting. Because Chris had clean air. And
he did, and Chris is really dropped through the safety gap. But they're only a lap apart on tyres, these two.
yeah, they are. So it's quite surprising, I think, to be honest. I mean, we just looked there, we were watching Bobo into the hairpin, and there was no sign of a lock-up. So, obviously, when it does kick, ooh, Bobo could have a little bit, don't know if that would have been a warning or not, but when, you know, you stop locking up immediately on the intermediate tyres or wet tyres, you kind of know there's a bit more grip there, because it just automatically does, doesn't it? Especially with the no ABS. But there was no sign of it from Bobo at that point in time. I'll tell you what, Ant all over the back of Formula.
All over the back of Formula, I was just about to say.
Yep.
So we've got to fight for first, and we've got to fight for the last step of the podium at this rate.
We certainly do, and they have dropped nearly 13 seconds off the back. 3 seconds as well for Formula!
No!
That's not what the chat is going to want, and is going to be happy with at all. It's going to be upsetting, I'm sure. Yep, there we go. There's Legoland in the chat. He is not a happy boy at this moment in time. But Saviour, so could have went Saviour by accident. Sociopath fresher Inters has got through on Friddy. I think Friddy may have had a moment somewhere, but he now sets the fastest lap. And Jules is not closing at all. He is struggling. So is Loppy. They are struggling quite a lot, I think, on those mediums. It hasn't stopped raining. I think they went, as you said, you called it a bit too early. But I tell you what, Ant's pushing on. It's had to be caught. He's forcing it out to the outside. He's now wheel to wheel. Formula leave him space. The both Ant's in a straight line. Who's going to be last on the brakes? The latest of the late breakers. Formula's had to give way.
Can't move, I think.
Now then, Ant, he closed that gap quite quickly. That's Loppy ahead. Vans with another 3 seconds. There's Loppy. He just backs off and lets those two go through. But now we're going to go to the battle for the lead. They're in a 3 second penalty to Chris, but Saviour, that, well, after that, Saviour on his own a little bit. Now sets the fast lap. We're in the 19s now. This is getting dicey. Yeah. This is getting close and exciting. We've just had a little bit of a lull in the middle part. Thank goodness for that. But now we've got 5 laps left after this. Sociopath, 19 seconds. So drying, and those fresher inters starting to work for people.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting little fight towards the end, especially with Bobo and Chris.
Yeah, and that 3 seconds for Chris could play all important. I mean, imagine if Bobo gets one.
Oh, it did.
Oh, Chris has got another one! Chris has now got an extra 3 seconds, 6 seconds. He went a little bit too much over the inside of turn 12.
So easy to do here, though.
It is, isn't it? It's actually scary for a street circuit. It's scarily easily. I mean, look at the amount of penalties. Or the people who have got penalties. Calvin. Oh, who's that? That's a Red Bull. I think that's Vans. It was. And now a 19.3. Wow.
I mean, I was having the problem in the Tier 2 race. I invalidated all my laps and literally put one wheel off.
It does.
Gives you a warning.
I think Sociopath had a spin. Calvin struggling on. He's now in 11th. Freddie Case is having a good race. He's now up to 9th as well. But look at all the penalties. Jules another 3 seconds. He's on 15. 2 more of those and you'll have blackjack. But we have got Vans on 6. No, that's the one. Calvin 6 seconds. Chris Bailey 6 seconds. I tell you what, the way that sorry, I thought it had stopped raining for that minute from that camera angle. Sorry, I cut myself off. It's very light now, that rain, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was just about to say...
DRS is enabled! It has now stopped.
So that's the indication for everyone else to get on them dry tyres.
Yes, but with only a few laps left, are people just going to continue on and stick with it?
Yeah,
the interesting
part... I'm going to check if Ant's going to pit and staying out.
Yeah. He thinks it's a lap too soon.
Yeah.
we're going to keep an eye.
People are pitting. I know Vans is in. He's going to the mediums.
Yeah, he just had a spin as well as Vans.
I wonder if they're going to wait for another lap. If I was Ant, I probably would have ducked in.
Yeah, but he's going to lose out. He'll be around the Rassam Armour area, give or take. So, what's going to be interesting is...
If everybody comes in now.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's it, isn't it? We've got... I'm just trying to think out, because I'm now thinking, if Ant has looked after his tyres and does what he usually does, which is, he is a tyre whisperer.
Yeah, he is Checo.
Yeah, absolutely, he really is. Jensen Button-esque. I'm looking after tyres. Calvin's in the pits. Socio, we're in the 18s. So,
yeah,
Calvin pits soft tyres, which makes sense. Only a couple of laps left. Oh, change of wing as well. Oh, Nels has joined, and I think he's going to get held up, unfortunately. But now we've got...
Chris is pitted.
Yes!
Chris is pitted.
Wow. But he pulled a bit of a gap to Ant. I mean, it's not going to be enough to keep, but he'll get out ahead of Formula Prix. Ant's in! Soft tyres for Chris. But he's got that 6-second penalty. Now then.
Yeah, is he,
we've got to
force Bobo to pit?
Yeah, we're going to have... Oh, is Bobo just going to try and hang it out? Because Chris now still comes out in second, because Formula's pitted as well. Saviour pits. So everyone pitting. Maybe use them all in quali? I don't know.
That's a possibility, yeah, but it's only a couple of laps now, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. So, we've got the tyres on the left-hand side, folks. Oh my goodness me. We have got an end for you all to go through. This is going to be absolutely incredible. Armour stayed out. G-Star stayed out. Soze stayed out. Vans, unfortunately, with a penalty to his name. Rassam's pitted. Freddie No pits as well. Sociopath makes sense for him to stay out. Because he's on half the wear on those inters, and we're only going to have 2 more laps to go. But let's have a look at Bobo. Where is he? There he is. Is he going to stay out? He is staying out. He's going to have 2 more laps, but he's got an extra 6 seconds. He's got pretty much 20 seconds to play with on Chris to take the win this evening.
He's just got to worry. He's just got to hope those tyres don't go pop.
Yeah, or he doesn't. They don't overheat.
18.4. But this is the sort of conditions where the inters you can do, as I say, you can go between that dry, wet sort of mid-change crossover point. But they, going back to what I said about the tread on there, it's like if it gets too warm, you're just gonna not get any grip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, very true. It is, isn't it? Jules is racking up the penalties. I said he's going to try and get blackjack. He's not a million miles away from it at this moment in time. Yeah, so Legoland is still hoping for Formula to get a podium. He has got that penalty he has to pass, and in a lap and a half, and gap by a good, I think it's 3 seconds he has, which he does. Oh, Jules has blackjack. So 21 seconds for Red Bull's not a good evening for them, unfortunately. Yellow flag in sector 2, that is an Aston Martin, and I think that'll be Mr. Floppy Loppy. It certainly is. Unlucky for him. Just trying to find the grip now as he puts the power back down. But Calvin now.
Red nearly just went.
Ooh, where was that? Missed that one. There it is.
The chicane, yeah, I was on board with him quickly. He's got the power up. I just heard the card shriek a little bit, and he just went. But as I was going to say about him, kudos to him for 22 laps on them intermediate tyres, and he's still going in P5. He's had a very good race himself.
Yep, he certainly has. Absolutely. And now the look at the lap times coming down. Ant with a 16.0. Bailey, well, he said he had 20 seconds to play with. He's taken about 6 seconds off Bobo in the last lap. But Bobo's just got to get through. Bobo just has a 14.9 now for Saviour. There, so he's probably going to cement himself in 6th. Unless he can do something about Armour in this final lap. So, final lap chat.
He's had a bit of a moment.
Oh, yes, he did, didn't he? Yeah, because now he's got G-Star for company. And dropped off the back. So that may... So, oh, that was an Aston Martin round. That's G-Star! Oh, G-Star's gone round Friddy with 3 seconds. But we're going to cut to our leader, who's coming down the Villeneuve straight for the final time. He chose not to pit as the track dried. He chose to stick it out. He held it the candle, and he fought wheel to wheel with Chris Bailey, and Bobo is going to take the first win of Tier 0 of Season 17. Chris Bailey is going to come home in second place with a very valiant effort. And it's going to be, and in P3, there he goes, across the line. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And sets fastest lap on the final rotation as well. But Formula held it up, had a great race. And he will cross the line in fourth, just ahead of Armour, who, like you mentioned, had a great race, and he held up those medium tyres.
Yeah, P5.
Yeah.
He could be really happy with that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he will do, won't he? 100%. Saviour in sixth. And Case Associated has got to really be happy with that one. He crossed the line in seventh. Rassam in eighth, just behind with G-Star in ninth. Sociopath, wow, what a... Sociopath had a...
race he's had.
It wasn't it just? Absolutely. Freddie... Well, yeah, he did, didn't he? And just kept those wet tyres going and going and going for a very long time. So, kudos to Socio. Calvin, difficult day at the office for him. He's in 12th place. Jules will cross the line with a monumental 24 seconds of penalties, but he was the last one on the lead lap. Wow, that was great. What a great race that was.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I kind of didn't let you in there. I do apologise. That was I didn't stop.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's been an eventful evening for myself anyway, just trying to get all this working. But
yeah, we'll get there. If everyone's is on PC who's watching us, please do let us know how we can sort of adapt and improve as well. Please do give us some help and some tips. It'll be greatly appreciated. So there we are, folks. Bobo, first win of the season, with Chris in second, and rounds off the podium after an incredible drive from him, who really battled through the traffic and then got through and got the best of Formula this time round. Thank you, Lego Lancer, for being with us. Thank you to all of you as well. Hydro in there, Martin early on as well. But here we go. If it does let me, it cancelled this off the other day, and it seems to be doing this to me a lot, where it's not showing. And it's not doing it again. The provisional standings. It is not allowing it. I don't know why. It did this to me on Monday, and it did it to me Wednesday.
Yeah, it's done it to me before as well. I think it doesn't let you set the standings. I think it's like you used to wait for me on the podium, and then as soon as it went to the lobby, it was just like you had 1 second. Look at the order, gone.
Yeah, well, here we go. Race winner is Bobo with the fastest lap of Ant in the end. Drive of the day from the game is Soze, with Jules having the most overtakes and the most penalties as well. Cleanest driver is Rassam, which is fantastic to see. If we can continue that, is it going to allow me to see the provisional standings? No. So, hopefully it'll pop itself up, because I forgot about that new part that they do, don't they? It gives people a lot more accreditations, which is brilliant to see. And yeah, it's not allowed me. Oh well. Oh well, what a shame. It was seen at the end there, so drive of the day for you, Andrew. It's a difficult one to choose, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, as you said, Formula had a very strong race himself, and Chris, as I say, up there saved you with the fight back. But I think, and this is not to prove a little bias to it, I think I'm actually going to give it to Armour. A little bit, as you say, keep those wet tyres going, and kept himself out of trouble and got himself a nice P5, so it's got to go to Armour. Yep,
good call. Good call, I think. I mean, I can't kind of give it to anybody. I mean, you mentioned Formula had a great race. Chris and Bobo battling away was fantastic. Saviour with his battles, and especially coming through and taking P3. Socio taking the wet so long. And of course, like you said, Armour keeping them alive as well. There's so many to mention. There's a lot of other drivers, so I do apologise if I haven't mentioned you. But yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was fantastic Grand Prix.
It was. Thank you, Andrew, for joining me. I know it's been a while, and we'll get these. We'll get everything up and running at some point as we learn and adapt as well. We got to do. We just learn. We adapt to it, and we will get there. So, but
thanks for having me, Hodge.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. That is your racing action for this week. We go again Monday evening, 7 o'clock UK time, with a round 2 We are at Interlagos in Brazil. I'm not going to name the full track title. I haven't got long enough to do that. But look forward to joining you then. We will be on track. Andrew will be on track as well, so we look forward to seeing you then. But until then, folks, have a lovely, lovely end of the week and weekend. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Take care.